Welcome, issue 1, episode 1 of our very first. I'll do that again. That was bollocks. That's for the outtakes. That's for the blooper reel. Okay, thanks very much to Pyramid Eon Arts for supplying our kick-ass theme tune there, and welcome to episode 1, our official first episode of the Dial N for Nerd podcast, the podcast for people old enough to remember when comics didn't have splash pages. So, I'm Dex, I'm 33% of your hosting team here from Nottingham, based currently in Minneapolis. On the line with me in Liverpool, I have from Game Freak blog, I have Tony. How you doing, Tony?
All right there, like.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm fine there, la. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'll dispense with the Scouse accent for the majority of this thing. And I'm glad this episode was. So does that mean our pilot episode was episode 0?
Yeah. That was a collector's edition.
We're kind of numbering them like Capcom now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
hopefully this episode 1 will be slightly better than the George Lucas version.
Yeah. It had to be worse, wouldn't it? And joining us today, because Hidden Gavin is still out of town. He's actually in
Tiger Hidden Gav.
Yeah,
swanning it up in the land of the flappy-headed people in Canada.
Yeah, he's in Canada, getting tanked up on maple syrup and hockey for his birthday.
Okay,
so happy birthday, Gav! Yeah,
happy birthday, Gav. By
That's
the way.
racist, buddy. So joining us today to take his place. So this is another collector's edition episode, I think. This is the first appearance of our guest host, John Madigan from New York. How you doing, John? You okay?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Oh, definitely our pleasure. You're going to give us an interesting perspective as well, because not only are you not English, you're also a little bit younger than us as well. So I'm sure you're relieved this is a genuine podcast and not me just trying to groom you. So.
No, trust me, it's all good, man.
But out of interest, what are you wearing right now?
I am wearing a black shirt, which I think you created the logo of this. My father's Jeet school. Did you make the logo for that?
Oh, I did, yeah. Well, with close cooperation from your father, Big Sean Madigan. Yeah. So yeah, I did that one. Yeah.
I'm seeing a conflict of interest here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I'm 21 years old. How old are you guys?
I'm 46 this year.
Yeah, 42.
Holy shit, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I definitely remember
some films that we may be talking about. You may not have even been born at.
You know?
No, I was born in '95.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because Dex had sent me the list of films. Was it from Box Office Mojo?
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hell?" It's like, okay.
Isn't it? And you look at some of the box office take as well on the opening weekends. Obviously, there's a inflation difference here as well over the last 30 chuffing years. But I mean, it's like seriously, you get to number 1 in the box office with 1.3 million at the box office. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
What? That'd be a bomb, wouldn't it?
First film to gross 100 million at the box office was Jaws.
Oh, and the first bona fide summer blockbuster. I think.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh, there you go. That fits in quite well, doesn't it?
And deserved, yeah, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the news over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to hit you now with a couple of headlines which have taken my interest since our pilot podcast about 2 weeks ago. So just give me your gut reactions on this. The thing that's really dominated my attention and kept me awake at night is what's going on with the DC movies at the moment. First of all, it came out the announcement that Ben Affleck has confirmed to direct The Batman, which is the title of his Batman solo film, The Batman. And yeah, and they're saying because it's been put back or things have been shuffled around because of JLA and rumours that Wonder Woman are both turning out to be a bit of a mess. So there's rewrites and reshoots and everything's being jiggled around to get that together. So what do you think? What's your thoughts on that? Affleck to direct as well as star? Again, I think I've already said that I'm into the idea of Affleck as the older, more mature Batman, kind of out of retirement kind of Batman, Dark Knight Returns style. I think he fit that real nice. And he can definitely direct. But what do you think of that? Everything, that whole package there with JLA, Wonder Woman. Is it same old, same old?
I mean, I'm excited to see this. I mean, I love the superhero movies. Actually, I have Deadpool on in the background as we speak. But I love, I love these superhero movies and stuff. I kind of feel like the DC universe, though, is kind of a mess right now, though. Their films are certainly not hitting where Marvel is, I would say.
Why is this, do you think? I mean, they definitely don't have the canon of top flight characters like Marvel has. But, they're definitely picking out their A-list characters, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and giving them movies. So why aren't they doing good movies?
I think part of the issue is that they're just trying to make it far too complex for people to go and actually see their films. What I mean by that is all of these silly titles that they're giving them, like Man of Steel, and just call it Superman. Like that, we all know what you're talking about. It's like this thing as well, calling the Affleck film The Batman. It's like, yeah, we get it. That's why we're going to see the film. We know it's Batman. Like, give it like a saucier title. I'm just wondering if it's the general public, if you like, not meaning to sound like a proletariat kind of like term, but when they're seeing this kind of like Man of Steel thing and whatever, it's kind of. Are they just kind of questioning what exactly it is? I've no idea. Is it more just like the actual fans themselves are going to see these films?
It's true, but if you look at the Christopher Nolan trilogy, there was Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. That wasn't exactly just Batman 1, 2, and 3, and those did really well. I mean, in fact, The Dark Knight is my favorite film of all time. Not saying you're wrong, just saying like that's just something to think about.
Oh no, for sure. I just think I think what I'm getting at is the whole marketing thing around it it just doesn't attract me, and I know what they're talking about. I know who the characters are.
Yeah.
And I think they've also got a very I can't remember whether we touched on this in the first episode, but I think they've got a very bad issue with tone to their films, which is something you cannot criticize Marvel at all. Like Marvel have got the tone of the films absolutely nailed.
Yeah, they take it seriously, but they kind of know where they are.
Exactly.
This isn't Schindler's List. This isn't Kramer versus Kramer.
There's the series, but like in Civil War, it was all a bit laughy and jokey, and Spider-Man injected a really nice bit of humor into it. And then when it actually got to the end, where people were starting to be hurt and bust up, and Cap and Bucky were beating the shit out of Iron Man and whatever, like the tone switched, but it did it in a really, really good way.
Yeah.
And the thing is with the DC films is they're so miserable and they're so dark that any kind of attempt at humor in them doesn't work whatsoever. They're not really kind of like humorous films, and it's
just badly put together.
The funniest bit in Batman vs Superman is the whole Martha thing. That's comedic, but for all of the wrong reasons. Like, his mum's called Martha too. Oh, great! Let's stop this whole thing about killing him because he's a threat to the planet. Then, so I think that's as far as I can see it as a customer. This is the thing. I want to like them. I don't want to hate Batman vs Superman. On paper it should be a great, massive brawl. I don't want to hate them, but they just make me hate them.
Yeah. I think they're just badly put together, like we were saying in the last podcast. They're badly directed, they're badly written, and you're gonna cut a bit of slack for plot holes and things in a superhero film because it's entertainment. Sure. Again, it's not a documentary, it's not historical fact. You just want to be entertained, but you can only cut so much slack before you lose control of it altogether.
I genuinely think that they need to ditch Zack Snyder. I think just by almost handing him the sole keys to the DC filmatic universe, whether he's directing, whether he's an executive producer, having everything run through him is just a really bad idea.
Yeah. Now I've heard conflicting rumours about the Wonder Woman film. The story came out earlier this week, as I just mentioned, that the Affleck Batman was being put back a little bit because of Wonder Woman being a monstrous mess, and they're going to have to fix it and refilm it and whatever. Yeah. But I've heard conflicting rumours, I think it was through Forbes magazine, that a source at Forbes through their sources at DC, said it was actually coming together and looking really good. I'm going to remain optimistic on that, based only on the trailer. I think they might have done that. Tone-wise, it looks like they've got it. It looks like they've balanced the humour right, at least, again, just from the trailer. But as we're going to talk about later, I think you can tell a lot from a trailer. If we balance that out with the rumours that came out, and this is my other piece of news for the week, that Green Lantern is currently being moved forward as a Green Lantern core film, which, and I'm a huge Green Lantern fan, but even I was like, with the Ryan Reynolds film, why do we need this film? It's the film I've never asked for, you know? And I love Green Lantern. I've got the ring and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually had the lantern as well, the original limited edition life-size cold cast Green Lantern that numbered.
You had them years ago, I remember.
Yeah.
For anyone listening out there, me and Dex used to work together years and years ago, and I remember he had this stuff hanging around the office.
Yeah, totally.
So badass.
But this Green Lantern, the Green Lantern film is currently being pitched around, or being referred to as Lethal Weapon in Space. And it's going to have Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan as the Green Lanterns, and it's like, really, seriously, you know.
Yeah.
Every day, every single day.
that's kind of like the opposite that you want the films to go in. Do you know what I mean? It's either they're so dark that you want to cut yourself, or that they're so just stupid that it makes you want to cut somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the original film, I don't know if you heard about this. DC went to Frank Miller after RoboCop 2. And said, look, we want you to write a treatment for a Green Lantern movie. And he was like, okay, great. He goes, yeah, it's a vehicle for Eddie Murphy. And Frank Miller's like, click, phone down, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, John? I mean, how do you think DC is treating their properties? What's working, what isn't for you?
I loved the Dark Knight. Dark Knight is my favorite film of all time. Obviously it's a little older, and that's Christopher Nolan, who is just a fantastic director overall.
Yeah.
Modern day, I'll be honest, I never really got into the TV shows at all. For some reason, I couldn't get into them. I love the movies. I can watch the movies all day. I can even read the comic books, but for some reason, it's the weekly TV shows. they just don't do it for me. I don't find entertaining. That's just a personal thing, though.
Yeah.
The modern day age of DC movies, though, are just awful. I mean, I saw Suicide Squad because I'm a huge fan of the Joker character in general, so I was very curious to see how Jared Leto would do it. And it was just awful. It was just the worst rendition of the Joker I've ever seen before in my life. I didn't hate Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I thought she did okay. I thought she did better than Jared Leto.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been better, though. It's not up to par. It's not up to what the thing is. We, the fans, have come to accustom from Marvel with just pure, high-quality entertainment. And I think we just won't settle for anything less than that.
Yeah, you don't have to clone them. You don't have to follow Marvel's lead. I think it'd be wrong to. But again, you're right. They've raised the bar. You need to do something different. You need to do something watchable.
Right.
You know, where the reviews, like the honest trailers or the red letter media reviews of the movies, are better than the movies, you've got a problem.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Amazon have picked up the Neil Gaiman Terry Pratchett book, Good Omens. I'm particularly proud of this because we beat several major news sites to this story by about 24 hours.
There you
Fantastic,
go.
you know what I mean? It's like, ooh. So, yeah. It's just a shame we've only got 25 followers on Facebook. Otherwise, we'd have broke the internet.
Hey, but those 25 people know where they heard it first.
They're on the inside. They are on the inside properly, They're going to work. It's like, hey, have you heard about Good Omens? What about Good Omens? Where'd you get this from? Dial in for nerd people. So, yeah. So I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. I mean, currently, of course, Amazon are working on the other Neil Gaiman book, American Gods, and what we're seeing of that with the cast and with the story, with the stills and things like that, it's just nailed. I mean, Ian McShane, you could put him in any role, and he would just nail it. He's just class all the way. Gillian Anderson's in there. What am I looking at here? Here we go. Emily Browning, Crispin Glover, and they put the right people in exactly the right place. So if they do the same with Good Omens, which is essential, if you haven't read it, it's essential reading. It's about the end of the world, and an angel and a devil come together to basically save the world for whatever reason. And it's done in the Four Horsemen are in there, but an updated version of the Four Horsemen. There's some really good social commentary, as you'd expect from a Terry Pratchett book, but really worth reading. So that I was very excited about that. Anyone interested in that other than me?
I think again, it's one of these things that, apart from the Sandman and whatever, I've never really read that much Gaiman stuff to my dismay. Yeah. So I admit this one caught me. I did have a quick look at it when this news broke. So I was like, oh, what's this? Never heard of it. And it does sound awesome. So I'm going to try and squeeze in a read of it before I see any of the television
worthwhile
stuff.
Yeah, definitely worthwhile.
So yeah, that's pretty much. I know. Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman speak for themselves, and I know that there's some real die-hard fans looking forward to this. So yeah, again, I think if they're true to the source material, I can't see it being, and the casting, I can't see it being anything but awesome.
And I think there's something to be said. Like I really don't know too much about Good Omens. I didn't. Dex, the first time I ever heard of it was from you. I think there's something to be said, though, about, these studios making, like Amazon originals and Netflix originals. And does Hulu even do anything? Does Hulu even have, original shows? But, Amazon is really stepping up their game when it comes to...
I think so.
I don't want to say they're following Netflix footsteps, but they're certainly making, Prime, a lot, it's worthwhile, to find Prime, and the Amazon originals have been doing so well. Like I hear so many good things about Amazon originals, and of course Netflix originals. But you're not really hearing anything from Hulu. Hulu doing anything original other than the Mindy Kaling show. That's the only thing I know that they're doing.
They picked that up, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Are they doing anything else? I don't know if
I have no idea. I have very little time for TV. That's the thing as well.
Right.
I've just finished a Harry Potter binge, and that's taken me 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Watching 2 movies at a time, odd. You know what I mean? When we get the time.
I did hear with Good Omens when I saw this news break, and I thought, I'll just go and read about this. That apparently Terry Gilliam was going to be doing a film version of it.
Yeah. Terry Gilliam's involved with. You always hear his name come up with quirky little films like that. He was involved with Watchmen for a long while.
Yeah.
Before they had it over there.
The Terry Gilliam Watchmen. That's a film that I'd love to see.
Yeah, and it should have been nowadays it'd be ideally done as a season, as a series.
Yeah.
And each episode taken over 1 or 2. Each issue of the comic taken over either 1 or 2 episodes in a season, and breaking it right down, getting some more depth. In fairness, I don't want to go on too much about this. We end up talking about Zack Snyder again. In fairness, as bad as the film was, I don't know how they could have done the film any better. With that time constraint, with the budget, they left out all the stuff with the psychiatrist and Rorschach, which was just awesome. I don't know how they could have put that in the film. There's bits like that which, fair enough. But as a series, you'd have time for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, and sorry, you had something, John?
Breaking news from the Daily News. I don't know if you guys are baseball fans or not, but this just happened 25 minutes ago. Yordano Ventura from the Royals just died in a car crash at age 25. Just happened a half hour ago.
Oh, damn.
Are you guys baseball fans at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but still.
We can just move on then.
Anyway, back to comics. A final bit of news on this one, and again, we picked this up quite early as well. I picked this up, or we got hold of this before some of the news sites. So yay us! The Terminator reboot with the previous director of Deadpool at the helm, and produced by James Cameron. This looks like it's going ahead. This is the first time, I think, ever where I've looked at the idea for a reboot and went, yes. So, I'm actually fairly excited about this.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing The Apprentice. Trump should now be the new Terminator.
have they? Just because I obviously saw this bit of news because we almost broke it first. But the timeline that they did with Genesis has that just been completely scrapped now? Then,
as far as I know, yeah, they're literally going to be starting from the original film.
Right. Okay.
With the when was that? Was that 84? Something like that?
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't even cover that. It's beyond 30 years. I saw that film.
It's I think I'm probably one of the only people on the face of the earth that actually didn't really mind Terminator Genesis. I thought it was a great laugh.
Oh, okay.
I kind of thought the idea with all the new time threads that they were kind of chasing down or whatever.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit strange that they've kind of dropped it, because the end of that film, I mean, it wasn't strictly a cliffhanger, but it was kind of like leading on to straight into a sequel.
Yeah.
So if they've just completely dropped it, I mean, it must just show that they weren't that comfortable with where it was actually going, and they've just decided to start it again from scratch.
Yeah, and again with Cameron at the helm.
I mean, with Cameron at the helm, I mean, I've got every. I wouldn't even need to hear anything about it. I'd go and see it day one, just because Cameron's involved with it.
Like I say, the first reboot, I think I'm actually been excited about. This is just the trouble with time travel movies. They get more and more convoluted, and I think with Genesis, maybe they felt like they painted themselves into something of a corner.
Genesis was bonkers, but like it was that bonkers that I kind of really enjoyed it, because it was just, I had no idea what was coming next. It was just, here's a bit from Terminator, here's a bit from Terminator 2, here's a bit from this, that, and the other. But it was like, I think the best comment that I saw about it was almost like that it's like a Saturday Night Live sketch version of the Terminator films, because it's just like loads of modern day actors playing like Sarah Connor and all of the roles like that, and I thought that was quite good. And even though it was a bit convoluted, it was just a way to get old Arnie in it. But the idea that they'd sent back this Terminator to guard Sarah Connor from when she was a kid, and it actually aged alongside her. It was like, you know what, if you're going to shoehorn him in, there's not that many better ways you could kind of like do it.
Yeah, totally. No, absolutely.
But yeah, the new one, looking forward to it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds good. This is definitely something that people will have to go see day one. Reboots are typically not well, but with James Cameron involved, how can you not?
Hell yeah.
In 2 days' time, we have the release of Resident Evil 7 on the PS4 and Xbox One. I believe it's coming out on the PC as well, but because I don't game on the PC and I couldn't give two shits, I never really check.
It's on here. I just checked.
Is it on PC? That's good. So yeah, there's a couple of things. There's the new big collector's edition that you can get with an actual. It comes with a model of a house, which is probably the best model ever given away with a video game ever. Apparently these things, I was almost thinking of looking in to see how much they are, because they're that limited. The house actually gets built by scratch. It's custom built per order. It's not like you're going to find one in game in 2 months' time for 30 quid. I mean, it's literally, they make them to order, so these are going to be the only ones out in the wild.
Yeah.
But anyway, the game's out in 2 days. There's been some early leaked copies. Some people have got the copies earlier, so you can pop onto YouTube now and see people playing through the game. The bits that I've seen is entirely first person. I wasn't sure in the last episode whether the demo that I played was just first person and they were introducing it that way. But the gameplay itself looks really, really good. All stuff like, when you're finding keys around in this house, you've got to stick your hand into like the bodies of these zombies and corpses and pulling them out, and there's all gore and shit all over you and whatever. And so that's out in 2 days, and it does look like a real return to form for the Resident Evil series.
About time.
There's been I'm not sure if it's actually an embargo or not on the reviews, but lots of games companies these days seem to be withholding the reviews right until the last minute. But it is a new Resident Evil game. they've got something to prove with it, because the series has been shit for a good few years now, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on it. It's probably one of the first games, full price games, that I actually go out and buy. I usually wait for a couple of months until they've dropped down in price, but I'm actually thinking about going and picking this one up. So that's out next week. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the house right now. Unfortunately, it looks like it's sold out online, but it retails for $180. But it's going on eBay for like $350.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think just as you do with like the NES Mini Classic and things like this, that people will be ordering the house just to sell it on eBay. I mean, again, with it just being a made-to-order kind of product, I think doubling the money on it, if you're buying it for $180, selling it for $300-400, it's probably a worthy investment, to be honest, because as I said, you're not going to be able to buy them any other way. And it's kind of strange as well, because with the you can buy the house box set version, I think, without the game. And I don't know why you do that.
Right.
It's Resident Evil 4 and 7, sorry, and you're just gonna, I don't want the game. I just want the house.
Bloody hell.
Play it with your Lego men or whatever. But no, it does look really good. After playing the demo, which I was really happy for, because I don't cope that well with scary games. Things like Dead Space and whatever, they just utterly terrify me. And so it's good that it's got that kind of jump factor back, and the whole kind of haunted, like house, mansion, zombies, serial killers, that kind of thing. It's good. I'll be interested to see if it is entirely tied up with the Umbrella Corporation like it has been in the past. The whole branching Resident Evil story that, just started to jump the shark after a while. But hopefully it's going to be great.
Do you know if the game has any tie-in with the movie at all?
No, yes. It's almost, I think what Capcom are doing with Resident Evil 7 is it's almost their reboot. I think they realised that the last few games haven't been up to scratch, and other games that have been out there, like Outlast and things, have just completely dominated the horror genre. And I think this is Capcom basically saying, right, we're going back to roots, we're going back to scares, and this is like the relaunch of the brand, if you like. Even though it is the 7th kind of official game in the series, it's more or less a reboot. That's as far as I know, because nobody knows at the minute, because there's not been any review, there's not been any more, so it could get halfway through the game and then Leon Kennedy turns up, or Claire Redfield or something like that. But as of yet, it looks like it's a whole new thing.
I think the other piece of game news that I myself am fairly interested in, but may interest some of the listeners, is at the end of the month is the complete first season of Hitman is coming out on PS4 and Xbox One.
Good.
Some of the Hitman games are better than others for me, but this one looks nice. It's the complete first season, over 100 hours of gameplay, lots of DLCs included and stuff like that. So this might actually be worthwhile for you hardcore Hitman fans. This might be worthwhile you getting hold of it, I think.
Yeah, I've been really, really wanting to play this for a while, because the Square Enix released it episodically, so it was just not that it was that late, but I think like every month you'd get like a new episode, like a new level to do and whatever. And it was almost kind of, with Hitman, I kind of, when I play the Hitman games, I binge them. So I'll do like 4 levels. I'll spend like 6 hours playing. Then I won't come back to it for a month, and then I'll go back and do another 4 levels or something like that. So I've literally, for this game, I've been waiting until everything comes out in the one package. And so that's, again, another purchase for me. I've watched a couple of the Let's Plays of just like a couple of the levels, because I didn't want to spoil it too much. And it looks amazing. It looks so good.
Oh dear. Well, a bald guy in a black suit. How can you go wrong?
Right. Yeah. There you go.
So I was talking to someone a little while ago regarding a film that was coming out. He posted this trailer for film. I won't go into the film in case I want to retain the anonymity of the gentleman concerned. Yep. But myself and a few other people were straight away like, this just looks terrible. This looks like really bad. A few other people were like, oh, I'll give it a chance. But the guy who posted it said the age-old thing, which you only hear really when someone criticises a trailer. You never hear it when someone raves about a trailer. But when people started criticising this trailer, he said the stock response, well, you can't tell just from a trailer, And it's like, if we like this, look, when everyone was raving about the Force Awakens trailers when they came out, no one was saying, well, you can't really tell, can you?
Yeah.
But yeah, when you don't like it, yeah, you need an open mind. But this actually got me thinking. I think maybe 80% of the time, barring a few surprises, I think you can tell what a movie's like from a trailer. Because isn't that actually what the trailer's all about? Isn't the whole reason for a trailer to get you to want to watch it?
Exactly.
Yeah. To give you a breakdown of the story, to give you an idea of what's going on, and to make it look as good as possible. So as we said in the last episode, Zack Snyder, who does awesome... We need to change the subject sometimes, so this is turning into the Zack Snyder beating show, But he does awesome trailers for bad films, and with Batman vs Superman, for whatever reason, in my opinion, he couldn't even turn out a decent trailer. So it got me thinking on what a good trailer is, and what the warning signs, what gets my spider senses tingling about a film when you see a trailer, and what makes you think, nah, or maybe you'll give it a chance. Again, there's some surprises now and again, either good or bad, but generally speaking, I think it's worthwhile paying attention to a trailer and the clues that it gives to a film. So I've got some ideas here. Feel free to pitch in yourselves, guys. For me, there's a few things that highlight a bad trailer for me that make me think, yeah, I'm not going to waste my money on this. The first one, and this is the something of a change in the industry, I think. There's a voiceover. Now, back in the day, there's a few people who used to do the legendary, like, in a world kind of voiceover.
That wasn't bad.
It's all right, isn't it? Yeah.
Again, that wasn't bad.
Just one man. The legend was, of course, Don LaFontaine. He's the guy who did all the major, like...
I mean, he did everything, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a guy, Nick someone or other, I can't remember, who did the original Jurassic Park trailer, and only one man can save them, that kind of thing. But yeah, Don LaFontaine was the daddy. Now, back in the day, you couldn't do a trailer without those voiceovers. Nowadays, it's different. When you get a film trailer with the chirpy children's presenter voice, and they always tell you to be ready, they always tell you to be ready and give you a vague time scale. So, this summer, get ready, like that. It's going to be shit.
Yeah.
Surfing penguins, piss off. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the chirpy voiceover is always a bad sign. And it's normally tied with a film that gives away everything. They show you the entire film from start to finish.
From the producer of The Hangover.
Yeah.
Didn't they actually do that in Terminator? Oh, good Lord! Sorry, what's the one with Christine Bale?
Salvation.
Salvation. Like they gave away, like they showed a picture of the Australian guy, like in the Terminator, like with half of his face missing or something, and it was just like, oh, okay, so he's the Terminator.
Yeah. I think the first couple of trailers were looking good. The first couple of trailers were like, oh, okay, and Christian Bale stepping on that Terminator skull, with the M16 or the. It's stuck in his head kind of thing, all right, this might be good. But then, the trailers that came after that were really, they were giving away the farm, you know what I mean?
Right.
They do the same with, you'll occasionally get, like, killer jokes, and they'll give away the whole joke, the setup and the punchline, which by the time you then see the film, you've already seen the joke, you can tell, don't know what it is, but you can tell straight away that joke is a bit too good. You really should have saved that, and why are you giving it to me now?
Right.
So things like that always set an alarm bell with me. And going back to what John was saying as well, when they give you like a really tenuous association, because you want to give a film credibility. So when it's like from the director of Blade Runner and Alien, then it's like, okay, Ridley Scott. Oh my God, yeah. But Yeah, from the director of JFK and The Doors. But when it's something like, I don't know, from the catering team.
From the catering team that bought you.
From Gaffer and Best Boy on Cocktail. Get ready. It's just like, it's like we need something here, that, some point of reference that, maybe fans of these films will want to tag along and see this film as well. That always sends me like, this isn't going to work out very well at all. And another one, when they jump on the trope, the real obvious thing that everyone seems to be doing, but a little bit too late. The major ones for me was what I call the Tuba of Doom. And I think Christopher Nolan did it first with the Inception trailer. And it gets louder and louder, There's the Tuba of Doom. Occasionally you'll see like a variation on that, but the bad films kind of hopped on that a little bit too late. Because again, we need something to associate it with these good films, So let's use the Tuba of Doom. And there was the sub-bass dive of destruction, which is normally when something gets blown up and you get a like that, and and it gets you right in the chest in the cinema. I saw that in
makes you shit yourself.
Yeah, totally. Like you get that brown sound, I think I saw it in one of the Transformers trailers or one of the Ninja Turtles trailers, and again at the right time maybe, but they hopped on it a little bit too late when everyone's tired of the Tuba of Doom or the sub-bass dive of destruction. It's just like, forget it, mate. These are all warning signs for me. And of course, if it says like starring Adam Sandler, then straight away you're like,
directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, it's like, oh dear me, can't be doing with this.
Happy Madison Productions.
And there's films that have had really good trailers, like Watchmen. I'm going on Zack Snyder again. Damn it, I need help.
It's so easy, isn't it?
The scars run deep. But like Watchmen, which looked so good in that trailer, but then afterwards, it's just. I think you had the same thing, Tone, when we saw it in the cinema. And I saw it at a different time, but people were laughing, and people were laughing at serious bits.
Yeah,
there was no joke there, and people were just laughing, and people were getting up and leaving. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
I actually think I shouted that. This is bullshit. Like that.
Speaking about Schneiders, it reminds me of you guys ever see the South Park clip with Rob Schneider? They're all watching the movies, and there's 5 trailers. Rob Schneider is.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But again, there's some terrible trailers for good films,
Of course, yeah. The trailer, I would argue, is probably one of the most important aspects of any kind of film. Because if you got a shitty trailer, nobody's going to come see your movie at all. You need an epic trailer and an epic movie poster.
Yeah, a trailer's a movie in itself, and it should follow a structure. Maybe not like a proper 3-act structure like a film or a story would. But you definitely need an intro, an establishing shot. This is something that Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman trailer, does very well. You want to see a lot of peril, a lot of action, so things are at risk here. You get a sense of the stakes, and then usually it will end on a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Or often it will end on a little joke as well, just so it isn't all like swords and guns and things like that and explosions. And usually now they don't use the Vince LaFontaine voiceover or whatever, so they'll just include some of the dialogue or some of the voiceover from the hero. But yeah, there's definitely an art to putting together a good trailer. And even though I think Aliens, the James Cameron sequel to the first film, Aliens, had I think it was a very minimal trailer, just a light slowly dawning on the egg. I think that was it, wasn't it? If thinking back,
I think yeah. I seem to remember there was that one, and then there was another one. I seem to remember a flashing kind of strobe effect light, and seeing the bit where the Queen Alien's looking down at Ripley, but from her perspective, so she's there holding Newt and whatever, and you don't quite know what she's facing up against. I'm sure that was one of the trailers for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's James Cameron using what he's got to work with. Everyone knows the story, everyone knows the characters, everyone remembers the original film. Let's just tease that. It's like someone cooking your favourite dish in the kitchen, and they're deliberately wafting the smell, into the living room. Yeah. There you go. And I think that was done really well.
I think getting to just butting in and getting to the what was he saying, that you can't tell what a film's like from the trailer?
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone thinks that's the case, what I want you to do is just as we type, open up a browser, go to YouTube, and type in "samurai cop trailer." And if you don't think you can tell what that film's going to be like,
totally.
There's something wrong with you.
Let me see. Angel Town. That's another one. Oliver Gruner. I actually like the film. It's an 80s, he was being groomed to be like the new Van Damme, I think. But Oliver Gruner was very good, and he did this film called Angel Town. And again, it's got the La Fontaine style voiceover. He's one man, one of those lines. And
see, some of those, I could watch those all day. Some of those old trailers, they're genius.
Miami Connection. Oh my word, that's just a film in itself. It's just, in these Oscars.
I think as well. I think the original Star Wars trailer, as in like 77, New Hope, was. I seem to remember it being absolutely terrible. It's all like, join Princess Leia.
When you see these old trailers, it really is like someone trying to convince you to see the film. It's not a teaser. It's just like, you really need to see this. Let me tell you all about it, kind of thing.
Magnificent space adventure.
Coming this summer.
Trailers. One of the things that I really hate in trailer. This will be an instant. I know Jim Cameron's listening to the show, as he always does. So I know he would never put this in one of his trailers. But I hate the whole kind of mid-trailer pause to kind of like deliver some kind of punchline to a joke or something. It's like music, it pauses, and then they're like, oh my God, you didn't just do that, or like whatever it is, and then you're expected to like laugh, and then the trailer kind of like continues.
We're bad guys.
I mean, just like the entire 2016 Ghostbusters trailer is like that. It's just full of little, like the bit where Leslie Jones jumps off the. It's all music. They're all fighting ghosts, and she jumps off the stage into the thing and lands, and then it all goes quiet, and she's kind of like, I don't know if that was a black thing or a race thing, but someone's going to get the ass kicked. And it's like, oh, fucking hilarious. Really, really funny.
Some of the trailers recently that I think have done an excellent job. They've either, in one way or another, done something slightly different, or they've stuck to the formula really well, and got the juices flowing, got the excitement going. The big one for me, I think, was one of the first Force Awakens movies, where they give, again, same as with the aliens. You know what this is. You know what you're looking for. You know what's going on. You've been waiting for this. As soon as you get the Lucasfilm like logo shimmering across the screen, there's been an awakening. You know what's going on, and the whole trailer is a teaser for that last shot with the fanfare, and then the Millennium Falcon comes in. And it's like, and then just like the cherry on the cake, TIE fighters, and it's like, I'm getting all psyched up just thinking about it, and I've seen the film already. But it's just like that in itself is giving the fans what they want without giving away the whole farm. And this is how you build up that kind of excitement, I think the trailer, another one of my favourites, but for different reasons, was one of the trailers to Kill Bill Volume 1, which actually turned out to be better than Kill Bill Volume 2, the entire movie. This trailer was just fantastic, just got the tone just right, kind of a slightly retro kind of feel to it. Had the theme tune going over it. All the action was in there. All the major characters were in there. It kind of, hello Lucy Liu, and there's Carradine. Whoa, Madsen, fantastic. And it made you want to see the film. Oh, Gordon Liu, there you go. I mean, Gordon Liu and Sonny Chiba's in it. I'll go and see anything with those guys in it. Probably I'll tell you one though, my favourite kind of movie, even more than kaiju movies, is the Kung Fu movie. So anything with Gordon Liu in it, who's the Don of Kung Fu films, him and Beardy, it's got to see it. So that was a really good trailer for me. I think Skull Island and the 2014 Godzilla film trailers do the same job as the Force Awakens trailer, in that it gives you enough. Again, you know who Godzilla is, or what Godzilla is, you know what King Kong is. We're going to give it to you. We're going to let you see it, but just in the right way, in enough that you want to see more. And of course, you put John C. Reilly in the Kong Skull Island movie, and again, I want to see that. John C. Reilly's just the king. I love him.
Mm-hmm. He was great.
Yeah. Oh yes, fantastic. Just a little bit, but just enough. Right. He's a cracking actor. Apart from anything, he's a really good actor. Yep. So these are films that follow this kind of structure of setting the tone, letting you see what the risks are, a little bit of humour in there, and ending with the right kind of either a cliffhanger. You want to see if they survive or how they deal with the threat, or with a bit of humour, which again lightens the tone a little bit. These are trailers that really nail it for me. Definitely worth. Oh yeah, I just love them. Anyway, so trailers are some of my favourite. I always get to the cinema early so I can catch the trailers. I just love trailers.
Yeah, I especially still love it on VHS when you have all the trailers before.
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind of like lost at home now, isn't it? The trailers. I seem to remember a trailer that one that made me think, God, I've got to go and see that film, was the trailer for Blair Witch. I don't know if you can remember the trailer for Blair Witch. It was just a little bit where she's like, you hear this sniffling and whatever, and the torch comes on, and it's like her crying, where she's all like snotty, and it's like, oh I don't know what's happening, and all this kind of thing, and then it was just gone, just ended. And it was like,
and you had to wonder if that was like actual found footage,
exactly,
didn't you? When you first saw it, it's like, because of course no one knew what Blair Witch was going on then, what the hell was going on. It was like, what the hell is this? If someone actually found it. It was so well done.
Yeah.
Again, that less is more thing. I think one of the most misleading trailers was one of the trailers for Blade Runner way back in the day, because that was shortly after the Star Wars films, and the trailers was very action packed and shooting and running through plate glass windows and that kind of thing. And then when I actually got to saw the film, and I was a bit young at the time, I was really disappointed. It turned out to be this gumshoe film noir style detective thing, with like hardly any action in it really. And I was really disappointed. I think the trailer actually maybe not let the film down, but mismanaged the expectations of people who saw the film.
Yeah, it's funny how a trailer can do that, can't it? Like leave it slightly deflated.
Yeah, it's one of that. I'm just picking an arbitrary statistic here. Like part of that, maybe 20%, where the film really doesn't. The trailer doesn't really give you a good idea what the film is.
Yeah.
But again, if you see the trailer for Samurai Cop, you know what the film is. I think the latest trailer for me, which just had me shaking my head, was for the Chips remake, or the Chips movie, where the trailer is just all dick jokes and explosion. That's literally all it is. It's the same dick joke 3 times.
Yeah.
In different situations and explosions, and you've taken the Starsky and Hutch movie, the Ben Stiller movie, and you've taken 21 Jump Street movie, and you've just kind of smashed them together, and you've come up with this crap, and it's just a total waste of Michael Pena. It really is. If this film turns out to be, if the trailer turns out to be deceptive and the film's amazing, I will be so surprised.
Yep. And this is the thing, and that's not what Chips is about, is it? I mean, I know they're trying to bring it into like the modern day or whatever, but it's Chips was never about that. I mean, all right, make it a comedy, make it humorous, but I mean, they're just turning it into bloody Paul Blart.
Yeah, I think the Baywatch movie looks like it might be a bit more successful in that. I don't know if it'd be good, but I think that they're tweaking it and they're updating it and making it something a bit different.
All you can do with Baywatch is just be camp. That's the only. You can't try and make a serious film with it. You've got to just be like, you know what, our fans, it's just like women with massive tits, hunky blokes, and it's going to be some like drug smuggling syndicate that that's going around. It's going to be like one of the old Police Academy films.
And that sounds like a film I want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking forward then for the next month, games that are coming out the next month. We have a slew of games for PC, Steam, and consoles. A quick run through here of some of the bigger names I got coming out. Lego Worlds is coming out February 21st. Halo Wars 2, Sniper Elite 4, and For Honor. I think they're the biggest games for me there, or the games that got me most excited. Anything there coming out really? The bigger games I think are coming out in March, but I don't want to talk about that too much. Like Ghost Recon, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, of course, will be out for the Switch, and Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, it's the start of the year. Same with movies; everything's kind of just ticking over until blockbuster season comes through.
Right. Sniper Elite 4 should be good. I mean, I don't think there's been a Sniper Elite game that's been terrible, really. I've played them all. I like them all. They've been flawed here and there, but on the whole, worthwhile. I think Sniper Elite is like you get exactly out of the game what you expect. It's just big levels. You've got a sniper rifle. You can set up traps, and you've got to get to the objectives and what. But it's kind of like how you've got a certain amount to play with. You can play it co-op. There's certain online modes, which I don't really get into the online stuff, but the actual it's kind of refreshing that they're still doing the World War II vibe, that they've stuck with that here, where everyone's moved on to modern warfare and future warfare and infinite bloody warfare. That they're still doing World War II stuff. It's really, really good. And from what I've seen, some of the levels, like the bridge level that they demoed at E3 last year, can't wait to get my hands on that. That looks epic. Just taking out Nazis crossing the bridge. I mean, it's as simple as that. That's your toy box. Go and play. So yeah, that looks good.
Me. Oh hell yeah!
And there's always Professional Farmer 2017 that's coming out next month.
Tempting. I keep looking at Farm Simulator.
I don't know anybody that's ever purchased that.
I keep looking at Farm Simulator. I'm only half joking as well. I just like Sims, I'm into sim games. So, yeah.
Wasn't it? There was that stat though that there were more people on Steam playing Farm Simulator than there were playing Infinite Warfare.
Oh my god!
yeah,
I'm not
genuinely.
surprised.
Yeah, it was Farm Simulator's massive. People laugh at it, but they sell millions of copies of the game on Steam and in retail.
That's crazy.
I remember a friend of mine had a steam train driver simulator on the Commodore 64. That's how long ago that was, and it really was just like you had like the two circles in either corner of the window, in either corner of your screen, so you could look out and see where you're going. And of course you're on track, so you're not going anywhere. And then a couple of gauges, and you like press Y to increase steam, press X to add water, and that was it. And he would play it for hours. That was it. And he worked for the rail company. He worked for British Rail, so he'd come home from a hard day on the trains, fire up the Commodore 64, spend 35 minutes loading it up, and then there you go, sit there with a brew, and still be late, I bet.
Oh, that's depressing.
How grey is that image for you?
Yeah.
So, movies. Looking at movies. I mean, again, still pretty quiet, but already we're looking at moving forward through February. We're looking at our first slew of sequels with Rings, the follow-up to Ring. 50 Shades Darker, I won't be seeing that. John Wick Chapter 2, I will be seeing that. It looks like they've done very little different, and that's why I want to see it, to be honest. I mean, why mess with a winning formula? Excellent gunplay. The original John Wick was, it's just like, is it really just about his dog? Yeah, it actually was. Fantastic. Brilliant stuff. Again, same as the Marvel films. They kind of know where they're coming from. This isn't social commentary. We'll take it seriously, but we just want to see people shoot each other in different and stylish ways.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Then we have The Great Wall. Matt Damon, not playing Chinese as many people thought originally, but kind of like a sword and sorcery, almost like a Reign of Fire, the Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale dragon invasion thing. If you remember that from a few years ago, but set in ancient China by the look of it.
Could be all right.
Might be interesting. Yeah. And that's really it, as far as for real big films. I know towards the end of February, No, that's coming out in March. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So, I mean, I'll ask. I think I know the answer. But apart from John Wick, is there anything there even remotely interesting to you guys?
I don't see anything. Nothing I'll be going to see.
Yeah, it's the same with the movie industry. Apart from the odd movie that sneaks out, I think this time of the year, January through to March, it's always pretty slow, isn't it? Really. So
Yeah.
with the gaming industry, the big time for that is the end of the year, September through to November. Because they want to get all of the new games out for the holiday season, and it's the same with movies. Nothing really comes out until the summer. Then you've got a big slew of summer blockbusters, a few that come out over the Christmas period. But yes, so I haven't even seen the first John Wick yet. I mean, I've heard that they're pretty good.
It's worth it. It's really good. Yeah.
And again, the Matt Damon one, I'm interested in kind of like seeing that just because I'm a contrarian. So when everyone was moaning about him whitewashing a Chinese actor in a film, even though it was paid for by the Chinese, I'd go and support it just for that reason, just that it might upset somebody.
You can't tell what a film's like from the trailer,
Yeah.
Matt Damon does tend to turn out quality, though.
Yeah.
Aside from the last.
I wouldn't really
Bourne
say
film,
he knowingly puts himself to a dud. I mean, even the films that people don't like him in, I really liked, such as the I can't remember the District 9 fellow, Blomkamp.
Oh yeah. Oh crikey, it's like that, isn't it? Because I like that film as well. It's not Halo, but it should have been.
Elysium, that's it.
Yeah, Elysium, yeah.
I love Elysium. I think it's a bad
I always say Elysium in a very grand voice and like do a sweeping gesture with my arm, like Elysium, like that.
Like Damon.
Yeah, I actually thought that was all right. I really liked that film, and it was just Blomkamp saying, "Please give me a Halo film," and well worth it too.
God, they should give it. They should. I don't know what it is about those films, but the robots in them. They've got the same kind of robot. I think it's like his connection in the universe. Those police robots and military robots.
Yeah.
Some of the best special effects you can see in a film. They look amazing, especially the bit in Elysium when he shoots that explosive round and it kind of blows up all in slow motion and it's all the armor stripping off that robot. Anyway, sorry, that was me just saying Matt Damon's a good actor. So if you didn't like Elysium, bite me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a quick retrospective then. So looking back, as we like to do in our episodes, because we are nerds of a certain age after all, we're going to transport ourselves back 30 years to before when our guest host John was even alive.
Yeah.
God, I'm not sure this was a good idea.
No,
it's just depressing.
It's all good.
But our top 10 movies, this is for opening weekend, January 16th to 18th, 1987. Starting at number 10, I'll zip through them real quick. We have Crimes of the Heart. The morning after at number 9. Number 8 was Wanted Dead or Alive. The Rutger Hauer hitchhiker kind of, Oh no, that was The Hitcher in fact. Wanted Dead or Alive is the Rutger Hauer movie, although The Hitcher was very good as well. Bedroom Window, Little Shop of Horrors, which I really like. I'm not into musicals, but that's the one for me. I like that one. Crocodile Dundee is still in there. Platoon is still in at number 4. If you remember, that was one of the biggest films of last year, 1986. Then at number 3, The Golden Child. Number 2, staying at number 2, is Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. And straight in at number 1, if I remember correctly, Richard Pryor vehicle, Critical Condition.
Oh.
Where Richard Pryor plays a doctor.
I forgot that even existed.
Yeah, totally. Comparing that to the current top 3, I won't go through the whole top 10, but the current top 3 as of today, January 22nd, 2017, you have at number 3 Hidden Figures. Number 2 is Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. And number 3 is Split, the M. Night Shyamalan, that guy.
Oh, so he made something else?
Yeah, this is it's actually getting pretty good reviews. It's about James McAvoy plays a guy who kidnaps 3 girls.
The trailer, the bold.
And he has 23 personalities, 22 of which are homicidal maniacs,
Yeah.
of one kind of variety or another. So that's the current top one. Again, the Split looks like it might have a bit more meat to it, a bit more kind of depth. Hidden Figures, although it looks something different. Again, from the trailer, you can kind of see where it's already going. So comparing our two top movies, we have from 1987, Richard Pryor and Wesley Snipes in Critical Condition, compared to Split with James McAvoy. If you had to see one of those two films this weekend, which one would you rather go see? As funny as Richard Pryor is, he did do some bad movies.
Yes, Split for me, definitely. Just because it's the unknown and because Critical Condition shit.
Yeah, I'd go. Richard Pryor is for me, he's on the Mount Rushmore of comedy, but his films, apart from Brewster's Millions, which was a remake, pretty bad. Yeah. How about you, John?
Split looks interesting, although it is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Richard Pryor is, with my age, because I love stand-up comedy. It's a little hard for me to watch Richard Pryor and truly get into it, because I can appreciate old comedy. I don't know. I can't, and I appreciate him as one of the greats. I understand. He's considered by many the greatest, comic who ever lived. But I can't laugh at it. And maybe it's just because of my age. Maybe it's just because, comedy is very topical. So it's hard to understand maybe some of the things that were going on at that time. But, you know what I mean? I love George Carlin. I can listen to George Carlin albums all day. I'm not sure if you heard the new one. His estate released a new album. Did you hear that?
No.
I've noticed out there. I haven't heard it yet. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It's actually called I Kind of Like It When a Lot of People Die, and it was recorded the day before 9/11. So you can see why it wasn't released.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah. It's actually not too bad though. So I'll pick Split.
Richard Pryor. I think out of all of those, I think he was. I think he's obviously still funny. I think it was like kind of the time though, because at the time he was like drinking, womanizing,
setting himself on fire.
Yeah, exactly. He was a bit kind of nuts at the time, and I think just because comedy today, with a handful of exceptions, is so bland. I think people looking back, trying to look back at these classics, they might not get him. I know he's not for everyone's taste, but yeah, people like Sam Kinison and whatever, all the people like that are just amazing.
So thanks for coming along. Thanks for taking part. You can catch us on Facebook, Dial N for Nerd Podcast. You can catch us on Twitter, where we're going to catch all those big news breaks again, 24 hours, weeks often ahead of the competition, at Dial N Podcast. Tony, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Game Freak Blog. That's all one word, GAME Freak Blog.
John?
www.jmadigan.com has all my social media links.
Okay, and that's where we can keep tracking all your TV and film work as well, right?
Yeah, everything that I've ever done is on there as well.
Yeah, keep an eye out for him. It's like a Where's Waldo thing on TV recently. You're going to see him popping up everywhere. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I got an episode of Homeland coming on March 19th.
Awesome.
I'll be sitting behind a computer. So,
nice.
You heard it here first.
Hopefully you can. Hopefully you'll be able to see me, but who knows?
Okay, so great stuff. So thanks for listening, everyone. Hit that subscribe button. We've got some more stuff coming up in about 2 weeks, and we're looking forward to our first live events and streams and things like that as well. Great stuff. Thanks for listening, everyone, and take it easy.